This video is addressed to all road users. Um, we need to talk. We need to have the talk. This conversation, it's for everybody. I want to talk to you about vehicular cycling. It has been given a lot of bad PR. There's a reason for this. The truth is that every single one of us is an operator of a vehicle. The very simple act of riding your bicycle is vehicular cycling. When we take our bicycle out of the garage and put it on the street, and yes, even the sidewalk, we are operating a vehicle. This is legally defined in all 50 states. It follows the Uniform Vehicle Code, and we are granted all the rights and responsibilities of operators of vehicles. We need to operate it responsibly. There are those who would undermine and undercut our personal liberties. They would try and treat us as children whom, for our own safety, shouldn't be allowed on the roads. We as Americans have constitutional and protected freedoms, one of which is the right to travel. Education principles and educational practices are inexpensive and readily available. Infrastructure comes with a price. Okay? America is a large and diverse country. Beating the war drum for infrastructure caters to the needs of a few without really addressing the needs of the many. Infrastructure, when properly implemented, can be good. Vehicular cycling, which when you hear those words, I want you to think, well, you should think educated cyclist, is very, very good. What is not good is to treat the two as mutually exclusive. Our priorities as a society should be for education, legislation, and design practices which complement existing infrastructure. The last thing we need is $8.80 a gallon gas prices. So let me go off on a tangent here. That money, that price that I just quoted for gas, the reason why it's so high isn't because they pay more per barrel. They pay more in taxes, and that taxes get translated to the pump. All right? So really think about that. When you see somebody on a bicycle who's operating as a vehicle and they're following all the rules of the road and you want to scream at them, get off the road, get in the bike lane, get on the sidewalk or whatever, what you are doing is you are saying that you want to pay $9 a gallon in gas because you are so superficial. You are so angry, heinous, hateful, ignorant, uneducated, stupid, that you would create such a fear, intentionally create such fear in another road user, that they would say, we need bicycle infrastructure, and that war drum is being banged loudly. That war drum is part of why I am being prosecuted, and so you need to realize that you are the problem. You are going to create a real problem here in America. Stop. You need to stop. Okay? So yes, higher gas prices will generate more revenue to pay for special interest infrastructure. But America's economy isn't equipped to handle this kind of price increase. And we need to focus on what works best for America. Our first priority should be education of all road users on best practices for operating vehicles and for operating vehicles around other road users. Think commercial trucks, motorcycles, and bicycles. Okay? Motorcyclists will know what I'm talking about. Commercial truckers will know what I'm talking about. Cyclists already know what I'm talking about. Our second priority is to have that education enforced by laws which protect vulnerable road users. Okay, we hear all the time about how might makes right and car wins. Pedestrian versus car wins, duh. Okay, you know what's duh is when you're paying $10 a gallon for gas because you can't take the time to learn how to operate your vehicle responsibly, and you can't be bothered to know that state statutes already protect them to some degree, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and it pisses me off. So we need education. We need that education enforced by law, and we need to, on these two pillars is the foundation that we will build our infrastructure. Follow me on this. The more you know, the more you will realize that you do not require specialized infrastructure to operate safely in traffic. The more educated the other road users are, the better the cycling experience, the better the road experience is for everybody. So upon this foundation, we build our infrastructure, and we build it where it makes sense to build it. It would be totally awesome if we had cycle tracks that ran all along I-75 and I-65, because believe me, those roads were cut to be direct and to the point, and we can have cycle tracks that run along with them to connect us so that commuting by bicycle long distances is reasonable and safe. So I'm not against infrastructure, but I'm against this stupid special interest infrastructure. Bear with me. The fact is that Australia has sunk a lot of taxpayer dollars into infrastructure, and it has not yielded the net return of increased cycling. So what they're thinking about now is they're talking about tax incentives to increase cycling. This already translates over to America. How it translates over to America is that we are already through our taxes subsidizing the automobile industry. They've had their chance. It's time to give cycling a chance. So if we're subsidizing the automobile industry, let's subsidize the cycling industry also. The two are never going to negate the other. There will always be motorists, there will always be cyclists, and there will be people who are in between. So this isn't the death knell of one or the other, okay? The net gain from subsidizing the cycling industry would be so significant that we could tackle all sorts of social and health issues with one broad stroke. There's so many benefits to cycling, health benefits, all kinds of stuff. We can go into it later. This isn't the place. I believe that we, the people, are worth it, and so should you. Even if you will never ride a bicycle, you as an American should support men and women who cycle. You should be out there every day extending courtesy to each road user. We need to make America a better place to live. We can do that inexpensively and effectively through education, legislation, and best practices in infrastructure engineering. Increasing cycling in every community is the key to a more prosperous and livable America. Thank you so much. This turned out to be so much longer than I intended, but I really had a lot to say. And I have more to say, but I can't say it right now, so I will talk to you later.